So here are the histology for the digestive system. And this is not someone sticking their tongue out to the left, right? It's just one bump in many, many bumps of the tongue. So the most important thing you need to know, even though the stratified squamous epithelium and the connective tissue are in this tongue, the most important thing you need to know is that this is the papillary layer, or these are the papillae, and in there are the taste buds. So when you look at it, here is one papilla, right here, this whole thing here, and then the taste buds are on the sides. So these are where the taste buds are, on the sides, over here. Okay? All right, so this is what one taste bud looks like. So if you were to take this one thing out, this is what it looks like, and the taste pore is right here. The more liquid something is, the easier it is to get in there. So if you're eating something cold, like cold pizza, the cheese doesn't taste as good as hot pizza because the liquid part of the cheese goes into the taste pore a little bit faster. Okay? So that's why warm, liquidy things taste more. Okay? You have the neuroepithelial cells, so once they're activated, they send electrical impulses to the brain, and these are the supporting cells. So remember, you have mucosa, submucosa, muscularis, and serosa or adventitia, depending on what part it is. Okay, so again, you have mucosa, all of that, all of this up to here, then submucosa, then muscularis, all the way through here. This one is just showing you two, but in the stomach there are three, right? And then serosa or adventitia is down here. Okay? So this is the esophagus. Remember, think of the esophagus as a tube, and this looks like a tube. Okay? So the first thing to remember is that the lumen is on the right side. So you should label this as lumen, and this is mucosa and submucosa. The muscularis is over here, and the serosa or adventitia is over here. It's misspelled on there, right? The adventitia. So now we're in the stomach. So look at the difference between that and the esophagus. Looks narrow and right, skinny, like a tube, and then the stomach doesn't look that way. Okay. So the lumen again is on the right-hand side over here. Here's the lumen. So here is the mucosa. Okay. So this whole thing is the mucosa. The submucosa is here, the muscularis is here, and the serosa is over here. Doesn't really look right to me. I mean, that's what the answer key has, but I would think this is the mucosa, this is the submucosa, this is the muscularis, and this is the serosa, but I will make sure you know mucosa, right? That's what I want you to know. Okay. In the small intestine, you have circular folds, like I told you, you can just write that, or plicae circularis, but circular folds is so much easier to say, okay? There is a piece of the jejunum in the small intestine, which is the middle part. Okay. I don't know if you can see it here, but here, that green thing right there, that's the lacteal, okay? And these are the villi. So, this is the duodenum. This is the lumen. You should label this as lumen of the duodenum, right here. Okay? And remember that the pancreas, the gallbladder, and the liver all dump into the duodenum. This here, I recommend that you draw it in green. This is the lumen of the common bile duct, and this is a section of the pancreas that got sliced off. So that would be part of the head of the pancreas. Here is right where the pancreatic duct is going to reach in and dump into the duodenum. So that's a pancreatic duct. Okay. This is the jejunum with the 4 layers. Here's the serosa, the muscularis, the submucosa, and the mucosa. And then the lumen here. Okay? remember that these are all the little villi here. Okay, that's the jejunum. So here you can see really big fold right there. So that's called the villus. Right? This whole thing is the villus. And then these little, it's kind of hard to see, the microvilli, I'm not going to ask you, microvilli. So this is the mucosa, this is the submucosa, and this is the muscularis layer. The small intestine, do you see how they look like long rectangles? That's called columnar. And you see that the nuclei are all at the same level, I mean, for the most part. So we call that simple columnar epithelium. That's what's part of the mucosal layer. Okay, and it says absorptive because that's the one that's going to absorb the stuff. So it's called simple even though you see two layers. That's because remember, it's going to be like this, like villi. So this is one part of one villus and that's part of another villus. So this is simple columnar right there. Okay? So this is part of the ileum. So this whole thing is a villus. You can see red blood cells in the blood vessel within the villus. These are goblet cells right here. It's a goblet cell, which produces mucus. And I'll show you closer up. So there's a goblet cell right there. They've dyed it now, so you can see it a little better. In the ileum. Do we stop? So remember, here's the ileum from the small intestine coming in here. Here's the ileocecal valve. This is the cecum. There's the appendix. Ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon like an S, rectum, and anus. Just to review with you. Okay. So for the large intestine, we're going to be looking at a villus with the lacteal. I don't think you guys have this. I don't think you need to know this, but just in case, here's the mucosa layer with the folds, the submucosa underneath it, the muscularis, and the serosa. Okay. So this you will need to know. Here you have, these are the secretory cells, right there. And so this whole thing is the mucosa, and this would be the submucosa. Always remember that the folds and the villi are part of the mucosal layer. Now, this one is in your textbook. You don't have it in your lab manual, but this is what you should see for a lobule in the liver. Hexagon, and there's a central vein because it's in the center, and all of these little dots are hepatocytes, right? Cell of a liver, right? Liver cell. And these areas here, okay, the hepatic laminae are the layers of cells of hepatocytes, and the spaces are hepatic sinusoids. Okay, so here is the central vein. We're just taking this section right here. That's it right there. And then this section here are the sinusoids, here are the hepatocytes in layers or laminae. Okay, so when you look, and then there's a little bile duct here, which is in green. So when you look at this right here, I don't think you have that. This is what you have. Very hard to see, but this is the central vein. Okay, the spaces are the sinusoids, and the little dots are the nuclei of the hepatocytes. But this one is a little bit better to see this. Okay, so this is the central vein right here, and these spaces are the sinusoids, and then anywhere where you see dots are the nuclei for the hepatocytes. Okay, so that's the central vein here. Okay, and again, you can see this much better. These are the hepatocytes, okay, and the laminae, which are just layers of hepatocytes, and these are the sinusoids, the spaces. For this one here, look at the fact that this is a hepatic portal vein right here. Okay, this is a hepatic artery. This is a lymphatic vessel, and this is the bile duct. What I would suggest you do is take this one right here and see if you can find it on your model and on your manual, and make it green for the bile duct. And make this one purple, so you remember P for purple, P for hepatic portal vein. That's what I recommend that you do. Okay. This is now the pancreas. So you remember the islets of Langerhans? Okay. And then these are the acinar cells, or you can say acini. There's the acini. So islet of Langerhans, and then acini, A-C-I-N-I. These are the ones that have the pancreatic enzymes, which is the pink stuff inside those cells, which goes to the pancreatic duct. And here's the pancreatic duct right here. This is just a smudge. Here's the pancreatic duct. This is acinus, or one of the cells, and those are the pancreatic enzymes inside there. Those are the granules. So just bear with me 1 second as I show you those first few slides. So right here, this is a hepatic artery, right here, from the real anatomy. Okay? These are the sinusoids. These are the hepatocytes. This is the central vein right here. Okay, and again, the sinusoids and the hepatocytes. And then one more time, the central vein. Okay, and that's it. Okay. This is now the pancreas. So you remember the islets of Langerhans? Okay, and then these are the acinar cells, or you can say acini. There's the acini. So islet of Langerhans, and then acini, A-C-I-N-I. These are the ones that have the pancreatic enzymes, which is the pink stuff inside those cells, which goes to the pancreatic duct. And here's the pancreatic duct right here. This is just a smudge. Here's the pancreatic duct. This is acinus, or one of the cells, and those are the pancreatic enzymes inside there. Those are the granules. So just bear with me 1 second as I show you those first few slides. So right here, this is a hepatic artery, right here, from the real anatomy. Okay? These are the sinusoids. These are the hepatocytes. This is the central vein right here. Okay, and again, the sinusoids and the hepatocytes. And then one more time, the central vein. Okay, and that's it.